lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
You say you feel defeated and you're down for the count. You feel like life has thrown you blows and God ain't been around. But I've come to encourage you, so hold your head high. Know that God is in your corner now, no more inner lies. You are a winner, you just can't lose. Who burned a cave, more than a conqueror, Jesus in you. You are a winner, you were born to win.
Amen, 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 amen. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk Show on Elations Radio. I am your host, Chanel Lynn, and special thanks to the lovely Miss Kimmy Kim and Jerry Royce at PositivePower21.org. You all forgive me. That song, I think Kimmy Kim is trying to make me cry this evening. That song is right on time, and I mean right on point. I mean, I just experienced being a conqueror just this morning. I have a testimony, but I'm not going to share it at this very present moment. Anyway, our topic for tonight is about abuse in relationships, marriages, families, and even friendships. We'll talk about how to identify abuse and how to deal with what happened and how you can begin to heal from it. And this is a very transparent show. So I hope you all are ready for this discussion on tonight. Joining us on tonight, we have on the show the Shero, I like to call her. She's the Shero of the hour. Let me tell you, this lady, my goodness, this lady here isn't even, she isn't even an ordained minister, y'all. She hasn't even been, oh my goodness, but she is yet doing the work she's doing the ministry, and so just yesterday, I don't even know if it's okay, I'm just sharing. Look, just yesterday, she helped a runaway girl return home. She's a mom and a mom-to-be, and she works side by side with her two lovely daughters with their well-known clothing designs called Almost Twins. Let's give her another hand. How are you, Cassandra Wright?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing very well, honey. You deserve so many rounds of applause. I mean, my goodness. Honey, you are definitely a woman, I would say a valor, honey. So I'm just going to jump right in. So, I'm very excited to have this big discussion with you because we share a lot, and we both have overcome, abuse one way or another, and with God's help, of course, we overcame. And there are very many different levels and many different kinds of abuse. And from what I've observed, people will talk about physical abuse and bullying a lot. We hear about it a lot, but everyone doesn't want to talk about sexual abuse or being molested as a kid and the hell that goes on in families, friendships, marriages, and so on and so forth. And I think a lot of people feel ashamed to talk about it or embarrassed maybe or even feeling, guilty or the hurt and the pain is too much to bear to talk about, or some may even feel disgusted, even sharing or feeling or afraid that someone else would, feel disgusted with, them speaking out about it. And so a lot of times fear sets in, and then the victim is afraid to even tell others from fear of exposing the person that did it. And you've got, you'd be surprised at how many people were molested as children and never dealt with it and ended up being sex offenders and a lot, or not even registered sex offenders as adults. And these people are in and out of the church, unfortunately. But no one wants to speak up about it. Cassandra, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts about it is like the sexual abuse is recognizing the warning signs. And also, explaining to your children inappropriate touching, because a lot of us, they don't do that anymore. So that's why it's going on so much now with the younger children. I mean, even when we were younger, we didn't get taught about it because we had family members that were child molesters as well. But our mother protected us from them because she knew. But they were still able to be in our home. And the crazy part is everybody knew, but they were never arrested. They were never arrested. We had uncles that were child molesters. They used to come in the rooms when we were sleeping and try to touch on or we have on dresses, they'll sit on the floor and look between our legs. You know what I'm saying? So she always knew what was going on, but they never really put these people behind bars back then.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I think this is a discussion where they need to start having with their kids as soon as these babies start talking. You know what I'm saying? Tell them about the good touch, the bad touch, by anybody, from your mother, father, friends, sisters, brothers, family members, anybody.
Yes.
So
it could be granddad. It could be anybody, grandmother. So and so. They just got a jail, male or male or female.
And I have a nephew.
That's.
Yeah, I have a nephew. Not to explore. I'm not going to say any names, but he was in jail for the same thing, and he was in jail for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So he has so many restrictions now for us. He can't be on social media. He can't be in a park. Anywhere his children is at. So it's bad. You know what I'm saying? Now, and especially with our.
Say that again. Your phone kind of went out a little bit.
No, I said especially now with our young children, it's going on bad. Now with our young 2 and 3 and 4, and even young babies 6 and 7 months.
Wow.
So it's like
you're right. Oh my God. Oh Jesus, it is. It really is. And I think that's why people are afraid to talk about it. And you pinpointed a very interesting, something very interesting that kind of struck me about talking to your kids. A lot of us are not talking to our kids, and also we're not even making them feel comfortable enough with telling us, if something happened to them or not. A lot of times because it's like you said, if you don't teach your kids, they're not going to know. Of course they have their their built-in system, that lets them know, hey, something is feeling weird, something doesn't feel right, but they wouldn't know how to act on it. They wouldn't know what to do. Even teenagers wouldn't even know exactly what to do if an adult came to them like that, if they haven't been taught. And so, especially if they don't even feel comfortable enough coming to you and telling you, and here I go. I'm getting ready to tell a snippet, because, and the reason why I share my stories, the reason why is because I know that life happens to everybody. And I'm a very transparent person. And this show is very transparent. And when God gave this to me, he told me to be transparent, because if you're not transparent, people out here will not get the help that they need. They will think that their situation is unique and that there is no help out here for them. And so my kids, had to go through that. I'm hearing another voice. I'm hearing another voice.
I had to walk away.
Okay. And so with my babies, and I hope that whenever they hear this, that this is okay. I won't share anything too I won't share too much detail, but when my children, went through it, their grandparents on their dad's side told them that they were wrong, told them that, how dare they say such a thing, and, manipulating them, telling them, well, after your dad just did this X, Y, and Z for you. It's like, how in the world do you do that? How do you not at least even try to get to the bottom of the situation to see if whether or not A, B, and C happen? You know what I'm saying? But to ignore that child's voice, to make them feel like their voice is not only irrelevant and not heard, but to make them feel like for them to say something, it was wrong for them to do that, making them feel ashamed, making them feel guilty, making them feel like, that abuse is something to be accepted. And a lot of parents, especially I've been hearing, from what I've been hearing, a lot of mothers get mad at their kids if their kids come and tell them, hey, Uncle so-and-so did this to me, or your boyfriend did this to me, your husband did this to me, and then the mothers are getting upset with the children, and I think that maybe it's because maybe they, number one, have gone through it, never dealt with it before, and so they have this issue that they're dealing with, and so this is like added on, and they feel like they can't handle it, they can't deal with it, so they try to run from it or get mad and try to attack, come to the defense, or some situations where the parent actually thinks that the child is really lying, or they're afraid that they'll lose their financial stability if they get rid of this man. I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Cassandra? Why do you think
a
some
lot
parents,
of them with the in far as the ones that's actually sexually abusing them in the relationships, I think that they be so in love with some of these men or even women that they be too blinded to see it, and they don't want to lose that significant other. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So they don't see it. They're not believing it. Like, we just lost 2 little girls within a couple of months, and her mom was leaving the little 4-year-old girl with her boyfriend, and they had a new baby that was like, I think the baby was like 4 months, which belonged to him, but the little girl belonged to somebody else or whatever. And so he was beating this little girl, and he beat her to death, and he beat her until he killed her. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, like, where were you, and why didn't you protect her? And, you know what I'm saying, did you see this? And they said she had multiple bruises on her, like from prior that he had put his hands on her. And then the dad, I had posted something about it, and someone was like, well, where was the daddy? And, you know, and the daddy, he commented on my post, and he was like, I was involved. He was like, I was involved in her life. He was like, I haven't seen my daughter in a year, you know, and he inboxed me, and he was like, I haven't seen my daughter. And I don't even know this man. I made a post, somebody shared it, and he inboxed me, and I told him, I said, you know, my prayers, my condolences is with you. I said, this is just not just you. I said, this has happened several times before. I said, so I understand, because women, sometimes they get bitter and they want to remove the child away from the dad. And he was like, because I didn't want to be with her, he was like, she wasn't allowing me to see my daughter. So she was allowing this man to babysit my daughter, and he was abusing her, and she knew it. And like I said, when we get in relationships, women get comfortable with their boyfriends and stuff hitting on their kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I'm the stepdaddy, I'm the male here, but sometimes you got to be careful with that, because you don't know how this man might feel about your child. He may not even be accepting this baby for real, because he's mad because you got a child by somebody else. And that's when the abuse start coming in. You know what I'm saying? He's hitting her, and a lot of people don't know their strengths. You know what I'm saying? So now you have hit this child, and then they sexually abusing him as well. They say he was sexually abusing a 4-year-old, beautiful little girl. You know what I'm saying? So I was wondering, when you was leaving your daughter with this man, was you talking to her about good touch, bad touch? If somebody touch you here, it's a no-no. Only person supposed to touch you here is mom. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of parents, they're not teaching these kids anymore, and they're afraid of either losing the man that they with, and like you said, losing their financial stability with it. And it's becoming, it's sad, and it needs to be talked about like every day, because we are losing our children to this. Or either our daughters are going out here and they're young and they looking for love, and they going out here sleeping with these older men. You know what I'm saying? And they don't even understand. You know, like the little girl that you was talking about, she was 15 and she's pregnant. The one that ran away, she's pregnant by an older man. You know what I'm saying? But she said, my mama don't love me. My mama don't love me. She let these men come in. She keep having babies by people. That's what she said. She calls me out of my name. She does this. She does that. So this little girl is hurting. So that's why she went out and she ran away, and she ran to live with a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Because she's looking for love. So basically, this grown man is sexually abusing a child. He's taking advantage of her. And she's only 15 years old. So that's meaning mom ain't never talk to you. Mom is running your daughter off into a sexual abuser's hands, because this is a 25-year-old man. Your daughter is 15 years old.
My God.
Now she's pregnant.
Oh,
so
God.
It's crazy. It's sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I try to protect my daughters as much as I can, but we are moms. It takes a village to raise them.
It does. It really does. It really does. And people,
No, I'm listening.
But okay. Well, I was just gonna say, but people, a lot of people don't want any, they don't want anyone involved in their, what they got that saying. They have that saying, "What goes on in this house stays in this house," but not when it comes to abuse. That should not be. That shouldn't be.
Right.
And then you made me think about how when it comes to, dealing with boyfriends and so on and so forth, and dealing with and accepting the fact that he's molested your child or he's physically abused your child in some kind of way. A lot of times we as people, we have a way of trying to normalize abnormal situations, because of, this person is providing for us, and if he leaves, we're not gonna have A, B, and C, and but it's like, come on, you are risking the life and the mental health, the physical health, the emotional health, even the spiritual health of your child. This child that God to you, this gift that God gave to you, you're abusing it. Basically, you're abusing this gift. And there's people out here who can't even have kids. When you have this gift that God blessed you with, and you are allowing the enemy to sexualize your baby, so that when your baby is grown, your baby is a grown sexual offender, male or female, and you become a part of, a part of this vicious sexual cycle that has been just sweeping this world. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When you look at all this crime and stuff that's going on, do you know that it's in the 90 percentile of people who have committed crimes out here have gone through abuse, sexual or physical abuse as a child that never got dealt with, or it was abuse on top of abuse after even telling that somebody was doing something to them. It's like, what is going on with the adults, people who are in charge, people who are the caregivers, the parents of these babies? And it's like, oh my God, yeah, we're going to have to, this cannot be just one, just a one-day type of topic, and then that's why I know that God gave, this topic to talk about relationships and friendships and marriages and everything, because at what point does a person say, okay, you know what, I don't care what happens or what doesn't happen. If this is going on in my house, you know what I'm saying? Order is going to have to be set in my house. Number one, I got to get the devil up out of my house. And number two, I have to let my children know that I love them and I accept them no matter what, and they can come to me and tell me anything. But not only that, and not only that, but teach your kids that they have a voice. Teach them to say stop. Teach them to say no. Run and go tell an adult. Tell somebody that this is happening to you, so that you can get the help that you need. And don't believe what the offender or the molester or the sex offender might say. I'm gonna kill so and so if you tell. We have to install in our kids the things that an offender would say, because an offender can be anybody on the school bus, at school, at church, friend's house, family member's house. You have to tell your kids how to be on the lookout. And what to do.
So let them know to tell. Yeah, they need to tell. Tell if somebody touching you. Tell if somebody saying something inappropriate with you. You know what I'm saying? And they, like you said, it starts at home. It starts at home. You have to talk to these kids about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a way you talk to them. It's a way you come to them. You know what I'm saying, about things. So it's very important now, because there's so much going on with our children now. You know what I'm saying? That their minds is not even thinking. They probably thinking, oh, well, maybe he's being nice. You got to pay attention to how another man is picking up your daughter, how he's holding her, how he's touching her. Not just daughters, it's sons too. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's happening more to our daughters. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at these little, beautiful little girls like they adults. Yeah. Like, how could you even sit up and molest a child like this? The man that they had going all over Facebook that was actually having this 4-year-old little girl give him, you know what I'm saying, oral sex. And it was like, where was the mama? Like, how did he record this? Where was she? How long has this been happening? Did this little girl ever say anything to get your attention? Did you listen? You know what I'm saying? And like the other little girl that came up pregnant, she was 11. She was being molested by a friend of the family that has been friends with them for years. They said the little girl had told her mama that this man had molested her, and she did not believe her. And then he turned around another month and molested this girl and raped her and got her pregnant.
Jesus.
She just had a whole child by this man. Now they finally locked him up. You should have listened the first time. You know what I'm saying? You can tell how your daughter acts when someone has done something to them. Everything about them changes. I was watching a movie, and it was so real that, like, the mom, she was just so busy. She was going to work. She was coming home. She was going to work. She had a husband there. Her husband was there. And the little girl, she was pulling her hair out. So she kept saying, I don't know what's wrong with her. She might be going through something at school. She won't talk to me. All that time, her aunt told her, go home and check her room. Go home and check her room. And she did not go to work. She went home, and when she got home, her husband was in there on top of her daughter, raping her. And she told her mama, she said, I hate you. She said, because you allowed this to happen to me over and over, and you never paid attention. This little girl had picked out the whole front of her hair, and her mom never asked. Her mom never asked, and she trusted this man. She trusted him, loved him, and he was molesting her 16-year-old daughter for 3 years, she said. 3 years. So that's what I said. It's there. The signs are there. It's just that some parents, they're not paying attention. They're not paying attention, and it's getting worse every day.
Yes.
It's getting so bad that it's turning to murder now.
Yes. Oh, Cassandra. Lord have mercy. You are definitely right. You are definitely right on the money. And just to add on to what you just said, there are many signs. You know, there is just like you said, Cassandra, there is a change in that child's personality, their character, everything change. Every child responds to abuse differently. So while the one girl pulled her hair out, another girl would just shut down completely, just become, and, you know, probably was, you know, very radiant and everything, but all of a sudden will become very introverted, you know, and not wanting, you know, that child that's on the playground that's not playing with the rest of those kids. She's off to herself, looking like she got a lot on her mind. She's sitting on the swing by herself, or she's sitting down somewhere playing in the dirt or whatever by herself when she could be playing with the other kids. These are signs. Another sign is when your child, and I want to say this too, don't make your child go with an adult if they don't want to go. If your child has been around an adult and all of a sudden they don't want to be around an adult anymore, don't make them go. Don't think that your kid is just acting out, just acting up, something just probably wrong with the child. No. That child could be outward. They may not be able to verbalize what's going on with them, but in their body language, they're telling you something happened to me. So you have to pay attention to their body language and everything. Oh my God, Cassandra, you hit the. I mean, you did. You said it. You right on point. You are right on point. And another sign that you can look out for all the listeners, you have to pay attention if there's a difference in that child's attitude when they come around certain people. It might not be sexual abuse. It could be physical abuse. It could be verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is just as bad, if not worse. And once you find out, I mean, you have to ask questions. You have to ask your kids, ask your babies these personal questions. It might make you feel uncomfortable. Heck, it might make them feel uncomfortable. But if you come to your child with a calm tone and you let that child know that you love them, that you adore them, that you thank God that you have them, no matter what you done said in the past, I don't care how your relationship is with your kids right now or in the past. I don't even care if it was just yesterday, an hour ago. After you even listen to this podcast on tonight, I dare you to just act like none of that stuff happened. Tell your child
that you love them and that you accept them no matter what. And you want to make sure that their well-being is healthy, that they have a healthy mental state, a healthy emotional state, a healthy physical state. Ask them if anything has ever happened to them. Let them know that they can talk to you if anything, and that they won't be in trouble, that you will do what you can to protect them and to stop whatever is happening to them, to make that thing stop, that you will do whatever it is that you possibly can as that child's parent, that child's caregiver, whoever you are to that child, a friend of the family or whatever. Let that child know that you care about that child's well-being. You care about their life and you want to help so that child can feel comfortable. I tell you, I thank God that God gave me the wisdom on how to come to my babies and let them know that it's okay for them to come to me and tell me if something happened to them. Like I used to tell them when they were little, growing up, I used to tell them, listen, when you're on the school bus, when you are at school, there is no reason a school bus driver or a teacher, principal, whoever would have to pull you out away from the rest of the kids to talk to you about anything. Whatever they have to say to you in private, they can say in front of the kids. And I told my kids, I said, if any of this ever happens, you try to get away the best way you can. And if you can't, when you come home, you tell me, and mama is going to take care of it. Honey. And my son, when he was in the 6th grade, he was a puny little boy. And had his little voice sounded like Michael Jackson. Girl, it was so funny. But the situation happened on the bus where my son, like I said, he was puny. So, you know what I'm saying? He was like a really small kid in the 6th grade with a bunch of middle schoolers, you know. And going to Normandy, middle school, come to find out, now mind you, this bus driver to pull my son, he done let all the kids off the bus and held my son back on the bus to tell him don't move from seat to seat. Well, my son was trying to get away from the little boy that didn't want him to sit with him. But the bus driver pulled my son aside, made all the kids get off the bus to talk to him. My son came home and told me, honey, if I wasn't 2.5 seconds away from you know what I'm saying? The next morning, I was at the bus stop, and before I let my son get on the bus, I had a long conversation with the bus driver. I didn't care how long it took. I told him, I said, let me tell you something. I said, my son is a good kid, and this is my son listening to the whole conversation. I said, my son is a good kid. He don't never get in trouble. There's no reason for you to pull my son out away from the rest of these kids to talk to him about anything. I said, don't you ever do anything like that again, or you will be seeing me again and you won't like what you see. Honey, he said, yes, ma'am, and he kept it moving. Long story short, I had to have Elliot Davis come in and do an investigation for bullying on Normandy School District. And when he investigated, found out that bus driver was molesting one of them teenage girls on a school bus. Honey, I'm telling you, this thing is happening everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. Every culture, every nationality, every country, every continent, every city, every state. You know what it's happening and in some countries it's accepted. You know what I'm saying? But here in America, that's not accepted. So we have the right to stand up for our kids. You know what I'm saying? And so even when that stuff when it happened to my kids, mind you, when it happened to my oldest daughter, she was 4 years old. I didn't even know that it was going on, but I had got the phone call. She was over her aunt's house on her dad's side. I got the phone call. Now, mind you, now here I go. I'm about to be transparent because this situation happens too much and it should not be. What happened was my oldest daughter, she was 4 years old. And I allowed for her to go over her aunt's house on her dad's side, okay? And because her cousins were no kid was there over the age of 8. And so when their family learned that her older cousin, who was a teenager, was being sexually molested by his older cousin, also a boy, learning that this boy, now mind you, this boy's mama and his daddy died from AIDS. Okay, they decided to put this little boy in my kids' grandmother's on their dad's side care, When I found out that this was going on, I specifically asked her directly. I said, please, can you keep this keep him away from my baby, please? And just as sure as night is night and day is day, she did not honor my request, okay? She had something against me from the time she met me. I never did anything against this woman. However, like I said, when she learned that my kids were, when she learned that my baby was over her daughter's house, she drops this teenage boy who's been molested by his older cousin. She drops him off over her daughter's house. And then next thing I know, I didn't even know the boy was over there. I get a phone call, oh, yeah, so-and-so over here, and I have to tell you, X, Y, and Z didn't happen. Now, I wanted to go cold ballistic, okay, because here we are, we're mothers. We become mama bears in 2.5 seconds for our babies. Those of us who are good mothers. You know what I'm saying? And so when that happened, what I did was, instead of acting out of my flesh, I took my baby to the hospital so she can go get checked out, okay, to see if she was penetrated. And she wasn't, thank God. Took her to the Children's Advocacy Center, okay, where they were supposed to help my baby. She was 4 years old. How in the world can you get a full story out of a 4-year-old about what happened to her sexually? I have no idea. But they went off of what this 4-year-old baby done said, okay? And what she said really was a little bit of nothing. But they went off of what she said. So they put her on the waiting list. And so being on the waiting list, they never got to her. They figured other cases were more serious. Well, here's the thing. Regardless if your child has been penetrated or not, if your child has been fondled with another kid's hand, I'm about to be real transparent. If your child has had any kind of oral sex at all, if that had been done to them, you know what I'm saying, when they were little, that's more than enough. That's more than enough. And a 4-year-old cannot explain, even if you ask them, they cannot explain everything that happened to them. So you, as their parent, you become their advocate. When won't nobody else help your baby, you have to do everything you can in your power. And even when you can't do anything, you have to trust God to do the rest. So here I am struggling with this thing with my kids. You know what I'm saying? She finally got the help that she needed, older and later on. But mind you, like I said, I'm not going to tell too much. I don't want my kids to come back and look at this, you know what I'm saying, or listen to this podcast and be like, oh, my God, Mom, really? Did you really just say that? Why? You know. But so anyway, here I am now. My 9-year-old, and this is why I keep posting, pray for Corey, pray for Corey, pray for Corey. I let the world know, pray for Corey, pray for Corey. Because here, Corey, now mind you, each kid deals with abuse differently. Corey is taking this thing to a whole nother level of suffering in this. You know what I'm saying? She can't even cry real tears. You know what I'm saying? Like her mind is somewhere else now. And so here's the thing, and it breaks my heart because my baby she's not the only one, but thank God Corey's getting the help that she needs. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what, I'm mom advocating for her, doing everything I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And so thank God now she's getting the help that she needs. She's getting, a psychological assessment. All this stuff needs to be done for kids who have been abused this way. She's getting a psychological assessment done, and she's getting therapy for the things that happened to her, in her past and everything. And so thank God that Corey she's 9 years old. She's about to be 10. She's getting the help that she needs because God forbid my baby grow up to abuse babies, because that's exactly what happens. And then the thing about it is people want to deny. Denial is such a powerful demon. Because you can lie to yourself so much you will believe. You will believe that nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be too long. But I mean this thing is so real. And it needs to be talked about like this. You know what I'm saying? Denial is a thing that people tend to lean or cling to when they don't want to deal with the reality of the situation. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts, Cassandra?
Right. Yeah. That's why I said it's crazy that a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, don't discuss it, you know. And like you said, you have to be the advocate for your children when they do go through something, you know what I'm saying, because no one else is going to protect them but you. You know what I'm saying? So it's bad, it's sad, but we thank God that Corey is getting the help that she needs so she don't have to grow up like that. This is going to be her testimony. You know what I'm saying? Because the devil is trying to destroy her and attack her with the grown-ups. The grown-ups are trying to destroy her. A child. Yes. You know what I'm saying? An innocent child. You know what I'm saying? And every time I think about her, I'm like, she's so talented. She's so beautiful. You know what I'm saying? She's talented in every type of way, and she's going to be something. She's already anointed and gifted in so many ways. You know, and I'm like, how can somebody even try to attack her in that way? But it ain't nothing but the devil, because he doesn't want to see her. He doesn't want to see this as she grows. You know what I'm saying? So that's good that you are a strong, because we don't have a lot of strong mothers that's going to step up for our children, you know what I'm saying, and try to protect them from the things that's going on, you know what I'm saying, out here in the world, or whatever people are trying to do to them, trying to destroy them. Parents don't step up and do these things. That's why you see so many little girls, they want babies and stuff. You know why they want babies? Because they looking for love that they're not getting at home. They looking for love and affection. So they think having a baby is going to help them. They're going to love them. This baby ain't going to never turn his back on me. I was a teenager before. I felt the same way. Like, oh, if I have a baby, I know this baby ain't going to hurt me. This baby going to love me, and I ain't going to need nobody in the world. But I was hurting, you know what I'm saying, from love and affection from my family, from my mother, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I was thinking, so I had everybody's kid. I didn't care about babysitting. I didn't care about walking around with somebody else's child, taking care of somebody else's child, because I was looking for love and affection that I was not getting at home. I was going out dating guys thinking that, oh, they're going to love me. They're going to, you know what I'm saying, give me this, give me something that I was not getting from home. So like I said, everything starts from home. When your kid is going through something, for it's bullying, people try to bully, these kids try to bully my kids at school. I'm about to be 9 months pregnant, but you better know I'm walking them halls, and they be like, here come their mama. I sure am coming, because you know what? My babies, they annoy me, but they not bad. They not bullies. They don't try to fight other kids or nothing. They annoying, but they're annoying to me. But they're not going to try to fight you. They're not going to do nothing, you know what I'm saying, to try to harm you. So I'm not going to allow you to harm my child. I don't care whose child you are. The teachers, if you're not doing your job, you need me to come up here and do it for you, because you're not going to you're not going to harm my child. You're not going to make my baby feel like, oh, she's less of this, or she don't have this, or she don't have that, or she don't have no name brand or nothing like that. You're not going to make them feel like that. You're not going to make her feel bad, and when she's coming home, they sad, they don't have anything to say. You're trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and the kid don't want to say anything. But all along, they're being bullied or being hurt or being touched or anything. You know what I'm saying? And they don't want to talk about it. So that's why you have to have conversations with your kids and try to let them be open with you. Like, don't be afraid. You're not in trouble. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure this out. I'm here to protect you. God is our protector, but he wants you to do your job as well. You can't just say, oh, God, why you didn't do this? God showed you signs. Why did you look past those signs? He showed you. He's like he said, you make one, he going to make 10. You didn't even make one step to even pay it any attention to even have to think about it. But he showed you. He put that vision right in your face, and you look right past it. And now the worst has happened now. Now you want to cry out, God, why? You have to pay attention to the signs. And that's a lot that people don't pay attention. They got so much going on in their mind that they thinking, oh, that ain't happening. I ain't tripping off of that. She cool. She okay. When you see a kid scared to go with somebody or look at somebody a certain type of way, you got to figure out, okay, what's wrong? Did they do something to you? Did somebody hurt you? You know what I'm saying? And stop leaving your kids with everybody. Stop leaving them around everybody. Stop leaving them with these different men or women or whoever that you feel like that they ain't safe around. You meet new people. You just leaving your kid with them. Hey, can you watch her real quick? You don't know these people. Have you case netted them? Have you did a background check on them? Did you ask them their background? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's got to be awareness brought to it some way or the other.
Yeah.
And I hope the people that are listening to us, I hope they can come out and share their stories. Even if they have been through it, they can share their stories with their kids. Like, look, I've been there. I've been where you were before. You know what I'm saying? Somebody did this to me. My mother wasn't home. She didn't know. I was afraid to talk to her because I didn't know if she believed me. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to change it, to be here for you, to listen, for you to be, so you can be me and let me know. And as they grow up, they'll be comfortable. You ain't got to be their friend. You just saying, I'm your mother, I'm your protector. So therefore, this is what I'm here for. Either if you right or wrong, we going to figure it out.
Right. Amen. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Lord. Jesus. And then, like, you, another sign you make me think of, like for babies, you can even pick up signs, even in babies that can't talk. Your 1-year-old, your 11-month-old, babies when they're born, they're learning. They're learning their bodies and everything. So they might touch themselves down there sometimes, like, oh, okay, But when your child, when the baby is playing with themselves a little bit too much down there, then you might want to, pay closer attention. Then you might want to start asking questions, or you might want to start, moving different. Who's watching my kids? Maybe that person don't need to watch my kids anymore. Check them, like you said. Check these people's backgrounds and everything, and then especially if so and so strung out on drugs, if they're alcoholic, whatever. You might not even know if anything happened to them. I don't care if they in your family or not. But they might might be running from something that they are trying. There's something that they are dealing with that they feel like they can't deal with, and they trying to run from it, drowning it in alcohol and drugs. Don't let your child be with this adult. I don't care if they're your family member or not. It doesn't matter if they're mom, dad, cousin, uncle, grandparents, whoever. If this person has a problem, don't let that person be around your child, by themselves. You need to, just like you said, Cassandra, it takes a village. It takes a village.
Yes,
it really does.
It does.
But that village can't be toxic. That village can't be. You know what I'm saying? That person that's strung out, that person needs help too. You know what I'm saying? But Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot. And hopefully one day we can try to start some type of organization where, a big sister program or something where we can bring the girls in that is afraid of talking to their moms. You know what I'm saying? And we can try to have them open up to other women and just like, everything is confidential. And I know you don't want to talk to your mom. Like the little girl, she told me, I don't want to talk to her. She don't listen.
Wow.
I said, well, you're hurting.
Yeah.
I said, so tell your mother how you feel. So I was texting her mom. I was telling her, I said, well, she say you say this to us. And I told the little girl, I said, sometimes as parents, we do get upset and we say things. But we say things we probably don't mean it. I said, we might be just saying it out of anger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She's like, but the things she say to me are just so hateful. And she's like, and it hurt me. I said, have you ever told her? She said, no. She said, because I don't know how to talk to my mother. And that's a prime example for a kid that's been hurt. How do you know if your child's been abused? Now she has ran to a man to get love and affection from, you know what I'm saying, because she was not getting it at home from her mother. So how do you know if she hasn't been abused or sexually molested or anything, because she was never able to talk to you? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women, I know another lady, she said she's addicted to sex. She was like, and I think I'm addicted to sex because I was molested. You know what I'm saying? And they have a movie like that, and it's reality. It was called Addicted. She was molested. She was raped by 2 men, and she became addicted to sex. That's all she wanted.
Wow.
She couldn't stay faithful to her husband or anything because she was raised as a child. That carried on in her as she became an adult. And she couldn't even be faithful to her husband because she wanted to have sex because she was raped, and no one helped her while she was young. No one helped her. No one got her help or anything. You know what I'm saying? So some of these kids, they can come out of this, and it can be a testimony for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what happened to me. I'm going to help. I'm going to be a helper to someone else's child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can help you. I want to walk with you through these steps because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And I came out, and I know you can come out too. You know, so hopefully it brings awareness one day before it just gets like too bad. You know what I'm saying? But it has already got bad because we're losing 4 and 5-year-olds, newborns.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
From sexual
and
abuse
our teenagers.
And abuse. Yes, and our teenagers. Oh my God. They're the worst.
Yeah.
Every time I see I be in the store, I be ashamed of being pregnant because I'm like, these kids are getting pregnant younger and younger. They don't even finishing school or anything.
Yeah. And not only that, you know, but they're dipping and dabbing in the other sexes and everything. Like, it's crazy. Like, I have one young lady that I have a meeting to talk to her. She's bisexual. She was raped by her uncle. And, you know, nobody bothered to get this girl help. But I have a meeting to talk to her. I'm going to talk to her next week. But, yeah, this is happening everywhere. And so before I say anything, Cassandra, can you say something to that woman, that girl that has gone through or is going through being sexually abused, and can you give them a word of encouragement for them to stand up and let them know that they have a voice to speak out and get the help that they need so that they can be better?
Speak out, tell somebody, even if it's somebody, a friend you close to, or, you know, it's a lot of girls that be close to their friends' mother. Tell their mother. Just tell somebody. You know what I'm saying? Get on Facebook. Start Facebook. That's everybody's on Facebook. Start just sending subliminal messages out so somebody can reach out. You know, I have reached out to so many children that's on my page about bullying or this or that, and I inbox them like, if you need someone to talk to. And like I said, the little girl, I don't even know this child, but I convinced her to trust me and to call me so she can vent. I said, I'm not here to judge you. You know what I'm saying? So find you a support team. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's going to support you. And just like I said, speak out. Don't be afraid. Talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Say something to somebody, a school counselor, a teacher, a principal, somebody that you really, really trust that's going to be able to get you through this or try to help you and get the help that you need.
Yes. Amen. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, you all, this is Cassandra Wright, honey. I call her the shero of the hour. You see why? My God. This has been an amazing show, Cassandra. Thank you so much, love. Honey, you did an amazing job. I absolutely love you. Your personality, your character, and everything. I don't even know if you know the full extent to, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you notice, you know, people feel comfortable calling on you when they need help for their families and everything. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? That says a whole heck of a lot. You don't need no title, honey. You don't need somebody to ordain you. You don't need nobody to tell you when to do this and that in the church or whatever, honey. You're already doing it outside the four walls of the church. I commend you. I really do.
Thank you, honey.
You are a beautiful woman, honey, and going to have a beautiful, happy, healthy, bouncing baby boy. Lord have mercy. I'm so happy, and I'm so proud to even say that I know you. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, I'd like to thank you. Yes, no problem at all. Pleasure was definitely mine.
And I appreciate you and love you, and we praying for Corey. God is good.
Yes.
And she's gonna have a testimony out of this world.
Oh yes, honey. I told her and Nigel sure did. You once again right on the money. Because I told Nigel I have yet to talk to Corey. I can't talk to her just yet. She's in her process, but I told Nigel because she was feeling guilty and distraught, which kids do, you know, once they've been abused and everything and then being told that they're wrong. I had to let her know, hey, God is going to turn this thing around. Who knows, you might be the strong spokesman for kids and women who've been abused. I said, you're going through something that grown women go through. I said, but thank God that you have the wisdom and everything that you need to know that what you did was right. You spoke up
and that was right. And I said, you're going to learn a lot from this. You know, you're going to be stronger and wiser because of this. And I said, only reason why, and it's true, that's the only reason why the enemy will come after these babies, because he knows that they're a threat. So I just want to encourage everybody to just speak up, speak out, know that you have a voice, know that God is with you. Know that God is always present, and he's fighting for you. You all have a wonderful, blessed evening. I'd like to thank all my listeners for tuning in once again to Let's Talk Show, where we are striving to change the world one show at a time. We'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m., same place. Have a good night.